Johnny Nash reminded us of the words of St. James in the New Testament. In that letter, James was recalling the prayers of Elijah in the Old Testament. The fervent, effectual prayer of the righteous man availeth much. The fervent, effectual prayer of the righteous man availeth much. Johnny hit the nail right on the head that day. Fervent, effectual prayer. Prayer brought us comfort and consolation during those days of grief in May, and prayer now brings us inspiration, encouragement, and a focus on the future as we bow our heads this afternoon. And so, God in heaven, you have blessed us with the lives and the talents of John Nash and Alicia Nash, the joy and the privilege of knowing this unique and very special couple, of being touched by the good work and the good works of their time in this world. In our grief, you gave us the support of family, friends, and faith, the shoulders that we leaned on then, the strength to endure. Today, you give us the capacity to remember the Nashes affectionately and fondly, to recognize their contributions to society, the capacity to smile again as we think of them, as we drive by their home, as we enjoy the refreshing Indian summer sunshine in their park. You give us the ability today to express our love and gratitude and to sustain the memory of John and Alicia for future generations. They cared for the community. That's community spelled both with a lowercase c, our local community, and spelled with an uppercase C, the world community. John and Alicia loved their neighbors, and they were loved and are loved by their neighbors. The neighbors right here in town and their neighbors on the other side of the globe. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to bless these proceedings, all those who are here this afternoon, and the township of West Windsor. To bless all those who will enjoy this lovely park and find nature, beauty, recreation, peace, and joy here, especially all those who, like John and Alicia Nash and Johnny, live here and call West Windsor their home. And finally, of course, we ask you, God, to bless Alicia and John and to hold them eternally in the palm of your hand, to reward them in heaven for their faith and for their many good works. May their legacy be an inspiration for all of us to use our time and our talents for the glory of God and in the service and the love of our neighbors. We make this prayer. Amen.
Thank you very much, Father John. And now I would like to introduce, later on, there are representatives from Princeton University, Christian Advocate, and also along with later on, today our agenda will include this speech coming from John Steyer, the older son of Dr. John Nash, and also Princeton University representative, Christian Advocate, and I know they are also representative from mathematics department. And there are so many friends coming here for this very special event. I just wanted to take these opportunities to explain why today. I think if you look at when it happened, that was 5 months ago, May 23rd. So today, October 23rd, exactly 5 months. And I didn't pick up today for that reason. The reason we picked up today was because tomorrow, Princeton University Mathematics Department, they're going to have a big memorial event in honor of Dr. John Nash and his wife, Alicia Nash. And after communicating with Bruce, one of Alicia's cousins, we decided this is the best time for family to be able to make it. And I recognize there are several Nash's family friends and relatives coming here. And I know one couple from Pennsylvania, and of course the older son, John Steyer, come from Boston, and many others. I couldn't recognize all of them here. But again, I just wanted to mention how the decision was made to name this park Nash Park. As a matter of fact, after we have the conceptual presentation about the design of this park. That was about over 2 years ago. And last year, early last year, I called Dr. Nash. I say, Dr. Nash, I would like to name this park after you. How did you feel about it? And he was laughing on the phone. He said, well, man, I appreciate that, but I'm still alive. I'm still alive. And I would like to stay low profile. And this is a community I love, and I don't want too many people to notice what I'm doing in the community. And he's a very humble person. And I talked to him several times. It's always showed that kind of tempo, very humble, very kind, and very responsive. One time I left my message on the phone. I never expect him to call me back, but he did. Actually, on August the 16th this year, I received an email from Maria del Carmen Poser, one of Alicia's closest, the first cousins living in Spain, and they used to live in Germany. And and I noticed from other cousins, yes, he's one of the closest cousins in the family. And you know what? She said exactly what I have in mind. She wanted to use 2 words to describe the Nash's attitude: humbleness and kindness. At the end of the email, she wrote, in spirit, I shall join all present in the act that will honor 2 beautiful lives, 2 beautiful minds. As an adjunct faculty member at the Rutgers University Engineering, I understand the importance of game theory in social science and decision making. In engineering science, I also understand the need to use partial differential equation to develop predictive models and better describe and understand the natural phenomena. It was so tragic that Dr. Nash and his wife Alicia died on May 23rd when the taxi in which they were passengers crashed on the New Jersey Turnpike near Exchange AA, so close to their West Windsor home. The 2 were returning from Norway, where Dr. Nash received his prestigious Nobel Prize from King Harold V, one of the countless honors he received, including the Nobel Prize for Economics in 1994. What makes Dr. Nash's discoveries more astonishing is that he made them while dealing with and coping with paranoia, schizophrenia. It's so hard for me to pronounce. And ultimately overcome it. It took extraordinary courage for this man to allow his story to be made public and join his wife Alicia to fight for mental health care in the state of New Jersey when their son Johnny was also diagnosed. We thank them for what they have done for the world at large, for the mankind. And this is not just the mathematicians. It's a great person. It's not the scientist only, but also the person who has been involved fighting for the health care legislations at the statewide level. And we appreciate their efforts and appreciate all of the things they have done for the whole world. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It is always great to be in West Windsor and to be among so many friends. Great to see Councilwoman Linda Jeevers and Councilman George Borick, who I've worked with over many years, and really appreciate the generosity of Mayor Shea to invite me here today on behalf of the university, especially the mathematics department at the university. My colleagues Kathleen Applegate and Gail Sandor from the mathematics department are here with us today. I thought it was absolutely wonderful that the mayor was able to plan this event today in coordination with the events that will take place at Princeton tomorrow to remember Professor Nash and his wife Alicia, so that family members could be here for both events. So I think that was quite generous of the mayor. John Nash's association with Princeton University spans nearly 70 years, starting with his time at the university as a PhD student. At Princeton, John Nash was a colleague, an advisor, and a friend. Here in West Windsor, John and Alicia were known in a different way. To many here, they were neighbors, very famous neighbors at that. Despite their international notoriety, John and Alicia Nash were very private people. I'm certain that they would have come here to enjoy this park that is so close to where they lived. I hope that others will find this to be a place of reflection, and that those who come here will contemplate the lasting, living legacy and impact of one of our own West Windsor neighbors. On behalf of the colleagues and friends of John and Alicia Nash at Princeton University, I thank the mayor and the council for honoring their lives with this lovely, lovely park dedication.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your kind words. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I guess you can hear me all right. It was a great shock for all of us, of course, especially coming right after the very high point of the Abel Prize ceremonies in Oslo, Norway, to hear about the sudden and abrupt death of my father and stepmother, Alicia. So it's taken a while for us to get back our sense of equilibrium. But I prepared a little speech, and I'd like to read it to you. On behalf of my family, especially John and Alicia Nash, who were residents of this town for 45 years, I wish to thank the mayor, town council, and people of West Windsor for this great honor, really great honor. It really is quite amazing. I have been visiting West Windsor in the greater Princeton area for more than 35 years and must have walked or driven by this site countless times. But never would I have imagined that this space would someday be a park named for my family members. Over the years, I have noticed some changes to the West Windsor town, but much of it looks basically the same. Coming from Massachusetts, it has always struck me how different the climate is here. Plants seem to grow in wild profusion, and seeing some of the nearby farms during my visits used to make me feel as if I was in a very rural place. Of course, over the years, there has been a great deal of development along Route 1 and new homes built in the area. Why, just a few weeks ago, I noticed a very young deer in a nearby strip of remaining woodland. So I urge you to continue to work hard to save as much open space and wooded space as you can, because this is an important part of the character of West Windsor. I know for a fact that my father loved living here and took great pride in their old home and community affairs. They maintained their nearly 100-year-old home in good condition, with a close proximity to the Junction train station and access to the highways. Was practically perfect for a person like Alicia, who had to commute to her job while wishing to live in a very nice community. So as we all move forward in life, it is good to see that public places like this Nash Park will be set aside as a place for quiet reflection, or simply a place to relax, read a book, enjoy a little bit of nature. I have seen something of the plans to make walkways and plant more flowers and trees. My father would have felt good that something like this was being done in such close proximity to commercial developments like the mall across the street and gas stations. It is these mix of uses that really can make this park a success. I hope it is a great success. So I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for inviting me to say a few words on behalf of my father, John F. Nash Jr., and my stepmother, Alicia, at this park dedication. And thank you to the town council members and the people of West Windsor for their kindness and support for our family during what has been a most difficult time. God bless you all.
A community park or garden is truly a reflection of our great American democracy, where everyone is invited to contribute to the continual and collective creation of our community. It starts with a theory or concept, And as time passes, different individuals and groups add their contribution to mold and change the park to meet the needs and wants of the community, building upon the work of previous contributors and setting a table for future generations. Nash Park reflects this continuing, ongoing series of contributions from the community for the community. As the mayor indicated, this parcel of land initially started as a contribution from the developer of the Gables community behind here. It was donated to be a firehouse. At some point, it was determined that there wasn't enough land to actually build the firehouse, and therefore it quickly became obvious that the next best use for this property would be a downtown town green or town square park. Interpretation that helps people anticipate how traffic patterns are work. And there's a graphic representation on the sign representing the application of his theories into determining how people move in traffic patterns. So it fits in with the wayfinding sign. So as I'm indicating, this park is truly a fitting tribute to Dr. John Nash and Alicia Nash. It represents a series of contributions to their community by a broad spectrum of individual community members, following a traditional guiding concept intended to improve the community for present and future residents. And I hope all of you get a chance to take a look and enjoy the day and enjoy this beautiful space now and many years in the future. I appreciate being able to be a part of it in any way, so thank you.
Thank you.